Hello, students. Today we will be doing a chapter named What is Your Water Footprint? Okay, so let's start. So, this is an informative lesson as it educates us about the amount of water used at an individual level and all the way to the national level. So, what we are going to study in this chapter is that how much amount of water one individual person or one individual takes up uh, on individual level or on the national level. Okay, so this is what we are going to study about. So let's start. Here it says, how much water does it cost to make a product? So do we know this thing? If we want to make any product in a factory, okay, how much water it consumes? Will calculating this cost or the corporate water footprint help make businesses more water sustainable? So, if we are going to calculate this thing, like if I want to make, for example, if we have to make one soap bar, okay, soap. So, how much water that one soap bar will consume to make? So, if we will calculate this thing, is it going to help? Is this corporate water footprint going to help make the businesses more water sustainable? That means we can save some water if we know about it, if we have done the calculations. So, judicious use of this resource is imperative. Judicious means when we use anything seriously, okay, and seriously if we use anything with judicious use of this resource. Which resource? Water. It is imperative. Imperative means very, very important. But unless one knows how much water is being used, how can they take steps to limit their usage? So if I don't even know how much water one person is using in a day on individual level and or on national level, then how we are going to take some steps to limit their usage? So for that, what we have to do, we have to calculate how much water one person is using in a day, okay, or in individual level or in national level. So then it says a water footprint helps one understand the amount of water being used at an individual level all the way to the national level. So first of all, what is a water footprint? Water footprint means one person understands the amount of water being used at an individual level all the way to the national level. तो water footprint क्या होता है, ये हमें understand करने में help करता है कि water को एक individual level पर और national level पर हम कैसे use कर रहे हैं. And in the numerous means various processes involved in manufacturing and producing our goods and services, and the goods and services that we have or we produce, that also takes or that also consumes water. So how it happens? So we can calculate it. An accurate footprint also takes into account the amount of water contaminated during the manufacturing and production process. So, if we have one accurate water footprint, so we can also take some account of water contaminated during the manufacturing. Contaminated means वो जितना water जो है वो खराब हो गया, जिसमें कुछ particles जो water में अलग से आ गए हैं, which has been contaminated, जिसको हम पीने के लिए यूज़ नहीं कर सकते. So we can also calculate this contaminated water amount also. This tool gives us a solid water accounting frame. So this accurate water footprint, ये हमें क्या देता है? It gives us a solid water accounting framework and aids us all in our aids means helps us all in our efforts to be more efficient and conservative with our water use. So conservative means पानी को बचाना. So water usage हम बचा सकते हैं when we know कि कितना पानी खर्च हो रहा है. The water footprint of an individual is the amount of water he or she uses in and around his or her home. तो जो water footprint होता है ना, the water footprint of an individual for one person is the amount of water he or she uses in and around his or her home. Okay, आप ऐसे मान के चलो, take one example, one person, for example it's you. How much water you are using at your home in one day, or when you go to school, or when someone goes to office throughout the day. So for one day, how much water you have used? It includes the water used directly, like that from a tap, as well as the water used indirectly, like the water utilized to produce the food one's eat, the products he or she buys, the energy he or she consumes, and even the water he or she saves by recycling. So all of this includes in water footprint. Okay, so directly means when you directly use water from tap, that is directly. And indirectly means if when you are using some products, for example you used a soap, for example you have eaten a food, so there are those things are made up of water. Water has been used in making those things, right? So this is how we will calculate the water footprint of one individual person. So, the grey water is the amount of water that we use to remove the pollutants from used water to bring it back to a quality that is acceptable according to the prescribed norms. That means the water that we can use in our homes, the water that we can drink also. So, that water will be called our grey water, that is used to remove the pollutants from the used water. So, that amount of water will be called grey water. सो नाउ वी हैव हाउ टू रिड्यूस वाटर फुटप्रिंट. सो हम इसको कम कैसे कर सकते हैं वाटर फुटप्रिंट को, मतलब कम से कम हम वाटर की वेस्टेज को कैसे हम कम करें, राइट? सो हियर इट सेज in case of direct footprint we can do the following. So what are the things that we can do? Install water saving toilets and showers. So first thing is हम लोग water saving toilets और showers को install कर सकते हैं. Then close the tap while brushing your teeth and shaving. Of course we know these things, right? So we have to close our taps while brushing our teeth and while shaving also. Use recycled water in the garden. So we should not use fresh water for garden, we should always use the recycled water. For example, we have washed the vegetables and we have some water in the kitchen lying there, so we can use it to to water our plants in the garden, right? Next we have harvest rainwater and use it for recharging underground or for secondary uses like washing cars and gardening. So we should always harvest rainwater. So when it rains, we should save some rainwater and we can use it for recharging groundwater. Okay, we can let it get absorbed in the soil, so it will recharge the groundwater. And for secondary uses like washing cars and gardening, we can use this rainwater for washing our cars, for washing our scooters, scooties, etc. And we can also use it for the gardening. So this is how we can directly reduce, or we can reduce the water footprint in a direct footprint, right? So next we have, how can we reduce our water footprint? If it is indirect footprint, so that was the direct footprint, like in which we directly can do something. Now in indirect footprint, we should be conscious of what we buy. So now we have to be very conscious about what we are buying from the market. We should make sure that we buy products that have a comparatively lesser water footprint. That means we should buy those kinds of things, or we should buy those kinds of eatables, or maybe any things, any objects which uses less amount of water in the process of making. So for example, buying a product that is produced from a place that is less prone to water scarcity. Okay, so we can buy any kind of a product that was produced in a place जहाँ पे पानी की कमी नहीं थी, right? Switching to products that have a lesser वाटर फुटप्रिंट, हमें उन प्रोडक्ट्स पे स्विच करना चाहिए जिनका वाटर फुटप्रिंट कम हो, मतलब जिनमें कम से कम पानी की बर्बादी जो होती है वो होती है. Switching to products that have a lesser water footprint, this will encourage industries to be more water conscious and transparent in their water consumptions. So इससे क्या होगा, ये हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज को encourage करेंगे कि वो water conscious बन जाएं and ट्रांसपेरेंट इन देयर वाटर कंजम्पशन, और उनके वाटर कंजम्पशन की वो कितना पानी कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए भी वो उनको ट्रांसपेरेंसी दिखाई देनी स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. ओके. Now, the water footprint network has developed a calculator which can help individuals assess their water footprint based on their lifestyle and their location. So what happens now is the water footprint network, it has done, it has developed a calculator which can help individuals to assess their water footprint. For example, I want to assess like how much water I have used in one day. So this water footprint network can help me to understand it better, right? So the calculations are based on the water requirements per unit of a product as in the country of residence. So this calculation is based on the water requirement कि पानी की हमें कितनी ज़रूरत है per unit of product, हर प्रोडक्ट के पीछे पर यूनिट एज इन द कंट्री ऑफ रेजिडेंस, मतलब इंडिया में मेरे रेजिडेंस में मुझे वाटर की कितनी रिक्वायरमेंट है पर यूनिट ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, इसको कैलकुलेट करके आई कैन नो माई वाटर फुटप्रिंट. हाउ मच ऑफ वाटर डज एन इंडिविजुअल यूज़, एक इंडिविजुअल कितना पानी यूज़ कर लेता है. हाउ मच वाटर डज अ कंपनी यूज़, और एक कंपनी कितना पानी यूज़ कर लेती है. डज इट रिसाइकल एनी, एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली हाउ मच डज अ फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ वाटर. तो जो कंपनीज होती हैं क्या वो वाटर को कुछ भी रिसाइकल करती हैं. और मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली हाउ मच डज अ फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ वाटर, तो एक फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट को बनने में कितना पानी यूज़ हो जाता है. ओनली once such an evolution is carried out can the water footprint both in terms of fresh water used and polluted water released be reduced. और अगर हम इसकी evaluation अच्छे से कर लें तो हमें पता चल सकता है कि जो फ्रेश वाटर यूज़ किया गया है वाटर फुटप्रिंट के लिए और जो पोल्यूटेड वाटर रिलीज़ किया गया है उसको हम कैसे रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं, कम कर सकते हैं. दैट मीन्स वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द वाटर फुटप्रिंट इफ़ वी वांट टू सेव सम वाटर. So then it says a transparent water accounting of an industry's needs is a tool that can lead to better response strategies. मतलब ट्रांसपेरेंट वाटर अकाउंटिंग, पानी की जो यूसेज है वो ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ हमें पता चले. ऑफ एन इंडस्ट्री, किसी इंडस्ट्री में कितना पानी यूज़ हो रहा है वो ट्रांसपेरेंट होना चाहिए. इट नीड्स अ टूल, विच टूल इट नीड्स, दैट कैन लीड टू बेटर रिस्पॉन्स स्ट्रेटजीज. उस टूल से हमें क्या पता चलेगा कि हम स्ट्रैटेजीज कैसे बनाएं सो दैट हम पानी की वेस्टेज को कम कर सकें. स्ट्रैटेजीज दैट आर नॉट ओनली टॉपिकल बट ऑल्सो custom built per location and season that will help consumers make an informed choice, जिसकी वजह से हम लोग custom built per location और season बना सकते हैं. that will help consumers make an informed choice, जिससे कि हमें चॉइस हो सकती है कि डू वी वांट टू यूज़ दैट प्रोडक्ट जिसमें इतना पानी यूसेज हुआ है. So, Indian Standard Organization is working on a procedural standard on how to incorporate water footprint in a product life cycle assessment. तो हमारी जो Indian Standard Organization है ISO, now it is working on the procedural standard on how to incorporate water footprint in a product life cycle assessment. So ISO का क्या काम है, वो किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को assess करते हैं, एग्जामिन करते हैं कि उसमें how many things are included in it and is it good for our body or not, or according to health standards, right? Now they are trying to incorporate responsible citizens too need to be aware of their duty, make wise choices and demand for transparency in information related to use of water for all products that they use. So being a responsible citizens, we should also be aware of our duties, that if we are buying a product we should know how much water consumption is there for that product, right? कितना पानी यूज़ किया गया है उस अकेले प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए. So we should also we should always go for the things or buy those things which uses less amount of water to be made. Then it's time industrial water disclosure be changed from voluntary to mandatory. Now some industries, they voluntarily are telling you that how much water we are using for making one product, but from voluntarily now it should change to mandatory. like everyone has to tell their water footprint. After all, scarcity of water will lead to a drought in businesses too, क्योंकि आफ्टर ऑल क्या होने वाला है, जो पानी की कमी है, स्कार्सिटी ऑफ वाटर, इससे क्या होगा, बिजनेस में भी सूखा पड़ जाएगा. So guys, this was our chapter, what is your water footprints, and if you understood it, so kindly like and subscribe and share it with your friends. I will meet you in my next video. Till the time, take care, keep learning. Bye bye.